Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Tuesday, May 31st, 2016, around 4:11 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. Sunny out today, highs in the upper 80s, and it's a little humid. Normal temperatures for the rest of the week. Maybe some rain showers on Friday. Some news to report. It's official. Vern Lundquist is stepping aside doing the SEC on CBS at the end of the 2016 season. His replacement's going to be Brad Nessler. That's been expected for weeks. And also, sad news to report in the NHL. Former NHL player Rick McLeish passed away at the age of 66. Rick was the first 50-goal scorer in Philadelphia Flyers history. Also, the Penguins are up 1-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Sharks. The Warriors versus Cavaliers NBA Finals. And St. Louis Blues have re-signed head coach Ken Hitchcock to a one-year contract extension, and he's going to retire from coaching at the end of the 2016-2017 season. And that's about it on the news. My first video blog subject of the day is my review of starrcade 1999. Starrcade 1999 happened at Washington, D.C. at the MCI Center. That's now the Verizon Wireless Center. And the main event was for the WCW World Championship. Bret the Hitman Hart facing off against Goldberg, plus other matches. Calling the action was Tony Schiavone, Scott Hudson, and Bobby the Brain Heenan. No dark matches for this pay-per-view. And here's what happened on the pay-per-view. The first match was a tag team match. It was Big Vito and Johnny the Bull with Tony Mamaluke facing off against Disco Inferno and Lash LaRue. This was about a 10-minute match, kind of a comedy match. Ending had Disco Inferno accidentally give the last dance to Lash LaRue because he thought it was Big Vito, but Johnny the Bull attacked him, and then Big Vito pinned Disco Inferno for the 1-2-3. Afterwards, Johnny the Bull, Big Vito, and Tony Mamaluke attacked Disco Inferno, and they brought a body bag and they brought him to a car. The next match was for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. It was Evan Courageous with Nitro Girl Spice facing off against Medusa. And this was about a 4-minute match. Ending had Spice low blow Evan Courageous, and then Medusa gives him the German suplex for the 1-2-3, and Medusa's now the Cruiserweight Champion. The next match was for the WCW Hardcore title. It was Ming facing off against Norman Smiley, the Big Wiggle. And Norman Smiley was dressed wearing a Washington Redskins uniform. And this hardcore match went all over the place. Ming was attacked by Fit Finlay and Brian Knobbs, but at the end, Fit Finlay hits Ming, and Norman Smiley takes advantage of that for the 1-2-3. Afterwards, Ming snaps and puts the Tongan death grip on the referee. The next match was Revolution, which was Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko and Shane Douglas and Asia facing off against Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Mystery Partners, with the special stipulation: if Hacksaw Jim Duggan lost this match, he would have to renounce his citizenship of the United States the next night on Nitro. And Jim Duggan's special tag team partners became the Varsity Club, Kevin Sullivan and Rick Steiner and Mike Rotundo. And this was a crazy match. Ending had Kevin Sullivan turn on Hacksaw Jim Duggan by giving him a low blow while the other members of Revolution was fighting with the Varsity Club. Shane Douglas was commentating the match. Then he slides in and pins Hacksaw Jim Duggan for the 1, 2, 3. Hacksaw Jim Duggan loses. The next match was Vampiro with the Misfits facing off against Steve Dr. Death Williams with Oklahoma. The Jim Ross parody was played by Ed Ferreira. Chop, chop, chop. Slam, slam, slam! Julie Broughton, Julie Broughton, Julie Broughton! The Oklahoma would say stuff 3 times. Anyway, this was about a 5-minute match. There was a special stipulation. If Vampiro won, he would get 5 minutes with Oklahoma, and this match was a crazy match. Dr. Death got disqualified because he attacked the referee. That's not good. So Vampiro gets 5 minutes with Oklahoma, and this was a total squash of Oklahoma. And Vampiro gave him the nail coffin for the 1, 2, 3. The next match was Kurt Hennig and Creative Control, which was Patrick and Gerald, who were like the Bruise Brothers and the Blue Brothers, and Skull and 8-Ball and DOA. Their real names are Ron and Don Harris. They faced off against Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray, and Midnight. And there was a special stipulation for this match. If Kurt Hennig and Creative Control won, then they would get a title shot at Harlem Heat later on. Harlem Heat was the reigning WCW World Tag Team Champions at this time. This was about 6-7 minute match. Ending had Patrick pin Booker T, and Stevie Ray and Midnight had some dissension. The next match was a bunkhouse match. It was Jeff Jarrett facing off against an actual Dustin Rhodes, and this was a decent match. Brawling, ending had Kurt Hennig interfere, and Dustin Rhodes gave the bulldog, but Jeff Jarrett brought in a ladder and hit Dustin with the ladder and pinned him 1, 2, 3. The next match was a crowbar on the pole match. It was DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, facing off against David Flair, and this feud culminated because David Flair was supposedly stalking Kimberly, DDP's wife, and this match was, actually was stopped about 73 seconds in because the referee, DDP, unable to compete, and he was going to give the match to David Flair, but DDP begged him, and he was up to it, and DDP wins. In about 5 minutes, he gets the crowbar and smashes it on David Flair. Afterwards, Daphne makes a WCW debut screaming. The next match was Sting, accompanied to the ring by Miss Elizabeth, facing off against Lex Luger, with the special stipulation: if Sting beat Lex Luger, then Miss Elizabeth will no longer be the valet of Lex Luger. And this match was awful. Ending had Miss Elizabeth spray something into Sting's eyes, automatically causing disqualification. She turns on Sting and sides with Lex Luger. Luger gets a chair and knocks Sting with several chair shots. And finally, Sting's out cold. Several referees and suits have to help out Sting. The next match was a powerbomb match. It was Kevin Kevin Nash against Sid Vicious, the master and the ruler of the world. The only way to win this if you get your opponent in the power bomb. That was the only way to win the match, and this was interference. Jeff Jarrett brings the guitar, smashes it over the head of Sid Vicious, and Kevin Nash gives him the power bomb. The next match was a ladder match for the United States Championship, WCW United States Championship, which was left vacant after Scott Hall, the reigning U.S. champion, was injured, so he couldn't defend the title. So they had Chris Benoit facing off against Double J Jeff Jarrett, the Chosen One, and this was an exciting ladder match. Ending of the match had Chris Benoit do the splat, that diving headbutt off the ladder, which was pretty cool, and climbs the ladder and gets the United States Championship. And then the final match was the main event for the WCW World Championship. It was Bill Goldberg facing off against the WCW champion Bret the Hitman Hart, and this was a train wreck of a match. It was craziness. Goldberg gives a kick to Bret Hart's head. This eventually would lead to the in-ring career ending of Bret the Hitman Hart, because he suffered a concussion, which he was unaware of at the time. The ending had Bret Hart put Bill Goldberg in the sharpshooter, and then Piper comes down and rings the bell, and it's chaos, and Bret the Hitman Hart wins the match and retains the WCW title. It was kind of like a screw job for Bill Goldberg, and that was crazy. And this pay-per-view, the Starrcade, I give it an F, because too much stipulations. It was so gimmicky with the stipulations in this Starrcade, and WCW was really going downhill at this point. Vince Russo was in charge of it, and he was, making Starrcade gimmickly. It should be the best pay-per-view of WCW year, not some gimmickful card, which the Starrcade were tending to be. After 1988, it seems most of them were like Terminator or a lot of gimmick stuff. And that's about it on that. Tomorrow, the last Starrcade I review will be Starrcade 2000 from Washington, D.C. The last video blog of the night will be about the top 10 power rankings of Major League Baseball teams for June of 2016. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Bunny guy. Molly Rose Blood of WCCOX has nice legs. Elizabeth Hutt, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swansea is awesome. And in the words of the Patel last week, no bus by.